Welcome to 5 Brews, where I make 5 brews just for you. With murders at Karlov Manor releasing, I've crafted up 5 commander decks that you can use. For this set release, there will be 3 Pauper commander decks in this video and 2 regular commander decks. Future installments of the series may have dedicated videos for each, but for now they're going to be combined. But before we get to the list, make sure you brew the subscribe button to a nice white by clicking on it, and leave a like on the video, and let me know in the comments below what card you're most excited to brew with at Murders of Karlov Manor. Anyways, because we're plug out of the way, let's get into the good stuff. To start things off, we'll look at Pauper Commander, with this deck being Gleaming Guilddrake. This one is a Voltron artifact build. Since we are going to want to sacrifice a lot of artifacts, they make up nearly half the deck. Each sacrifice makes Gleaming Guilddrake grow bigger with counters, so most artifacts are ones that can sacrifice themselves. It's playing a lot of spell bombs and skull bombs as a way to draw cards and trigger our commander. There are also a handful of equipment to make it easier for Gleaming Guilddrake to get in for damage, like Whisper Silk Cloak to make it unblockable, and Gold Vein Pick to make more artifacts to sacrifice. The deck also plays plenty of token generators, namely treasure ones, as those can ramp us, and each use of one will give a 1/1 counter to our commander. We also have sacrifice outlets for artifacts that can't get rid of themselves, such as Ichor Wellspring, with cards like Voltage Surge or Makeshift Munitions. Both help us do removal and deal damage. Our curve is super low, so we'll likely won't be having much trouble casting any spells. Here is an image of the full deck list, and this, along with all deck lists in this video, will be in the description below with a Moxfield link. Let's flip over to Commander, and we'll be flip-flopping between Commander and Pauper Commander. But for Commander, we'll be looking at Kylox, Visionary Inventor, victim to Ravnica's hatred of Varasino characters. Kylox costs a lot to bring out, but his payoff is absurd and lets you cast potentially a ton of spells that let you win the game on that attack. Because of his ability, you want to keep your non-instant and sorcery count low, and in fact in this list, we're only playing 5 actual creatures. These are ones that create tokens whenever you cast a spell, like Young Pyromancer and Murmuring Mystic. Saheeli is also in there as well, as a way to get more creatures for non-creature spells. The main way we are getting creatures onto the battlefield are through sorceries that create them, like Rawl's Reinforcements and Dragon Fodder and other cards like it. We want to create as many tokens as possible, and then bring our Kylox to swing in for damage and sacrifice them all to exile a ton of cards off the top of our library and cast them all for free. As far as win conditions go, there is a small handful of extra turn spells in case we do whiff, and you can run more if you're looking to make things a little more spicy by putting a little more money into it, along with storm cards since we're casting so many cards. Mind's Desire gives us another chance to hit more cards we can cast free, and of course Grapeshot lets us get in for the kill. We are playing a lot of rituals too to generate mana to cast Kylox quicker, along with whatever spells may be stuck in our hand if we hit them off of Kylox. Passionate Archaeologist is another win condition, as we can cast our big spells out and exile thanks to Kylox's ability, putting them into exile. We are an Idiot, so non-ritual ramp is pretty sparse, so we are a bit lacking on the ramp department, so we are counteracting with that by running a little more than usual mana rocks. Here's a full view of the deck list, and the Moxfield link is in the description below. Flipping back to Pauper Commander, we have Samala Rumblers. This is a commander that wants you to have a ton of creatures, so we're playing a lot of token generators. We are also playing pretty much every legal populate card in the format, as casting needs on the Myriad token that Samala Rumblers makes let us keep a permanent copy of it on our battlefield. The sorcery speed populate cards can copy the permanent tokens that we create from our instant speed one, so we can use them to make more Samala Rumbler tokens. Since Samala Rumblers puts a lot of creatures onto the battlefield, we're running the Soul Sisters to gain life, as well as Celebrity Fencer to give us another threatening attacker and blocker. Pretty much every creature is one that enters the battlefield with a token alongside of it, since we want a lot of creatures on our battlefield, like Seller of Songbirds and Kozilek's Predator, both of which make a token when they enter the battlefield. We're running the usual green ramp package as well, the usual mana dork suspects, and ramp spells like Cultivate. Although there aren't too many ways to take advantage of our Myriad tokens leaving, we do have Rod Sambaler, which helps us grow our other creatures, and Ivy Lane Denizens to give 1/1 counters whenever Myriad goes off on Samala Rumblers, as well as our other token copies. A full deck list can actually fit into a screenshot nicely, so head up the Moxfield below to see a better version of it. And jumping back over to Commander for our last commander list of this video, we're going with Omzu Swarm's Hunger. Though they have a static effect for insects, we're focusing more on the second effect when a creature leaves the graveyard. You get to create a token with counters on it equal to that card's mana value. The best way to trigger this is with Tortured Existence, which lets us continuously proc Ambu's effect every turn, with high mana creatures by trading them off with each other. Similarly, Phyrexian Reclamation does the same, though you do have to find a way to get the creature back into the graveyard later. We're playing a Reanimator strategy, as by reviving high mana creatures, we get both that creature and a powerful token to boot. We're playing the usual suspects for Reanimator, such as Sealdred Whispering One and Archon of Cruelty. We also have most of the traditional Reanimate cards, like of course Reanimate, Persist, and Animate Dead. We're also playing cards like Reclaim to get cards out of our graveyard to trigger Arms You easier. As always, the deck list is in the description, or you can look at it visually here on this video. And we've reached the last deck here, Aftermath Analysis for Pauper Commander. This is a ramp deck playing a bunch of ramp spells, as well as high mana payoffs for doing so. We're playing just about every useful fetch land to the deck in the format, as we can sacrifice Aftermath Analysis to bring them all back, and fetch again to ramp even more. The new Commander lands are especially nice as they let us gain back life and don't cost any mana to get the basic land out of our deck. Because we're playing so many lands, we're playing pretty much every landfall card, such as Territorial Scythecat has the best one, and others like Hedron Rover to deal burst damage the turn we use Aftermath Analysis. We're of course playing the bigger draws and payoffs like Urmark's Crusher and Hand of Emrakul, along with plenty of powerful tramplers like Duskdale Worm and notably Annoyed Altasaur. The deck is pretty self-explanatory. Ramp a bunch, play fetch lands, bring them all back with Aftermath Analysis, have a bunch of land to cast their big spells. Funnily enough, this is another Pauper Commander deck that can't fit into a single screen so nicely, but the list is in the description. Those were the 5 brews now set with you. Feel free to take these deck ideas fully, or change some things around and put your own twist on them. If you enjoyed this video, do let me know in the comments below, and leave a like on the video, and click that little old subscribe button for more content like this every set release. I've been JPEG, thank you for watching.